there's something very special about the people of Embu. Sumeona, you've even seen the documentary. I'm going to try very hard to give a little bit about myself and how I think we can walk with young people. My name is Janet Mbugua. My background is I actually grew up in Mombasa, a small city, small town. There was not a lot of time to hope and dream. We were not many. Nobody looked like me doing what I do. But there's a certain fire. Do you guys feel something in you? No, do you feel it? Yes. Hands up, how many feel a certain fire in you? Now, natumi kono kama kumi. I want to see more hands. More. And you at home and ask yourself, where is that fire? You can't do much without fire. Where are the hands here? How many of you have a fire in you? Yeah? On this side, fire. You can't go through life without an inner fire burning in you. I think I had it. Maybe I should thank my parents, I should thank God. I was a weird child. I had a deep voice like this as a child. They called me frog voice. See at him, kunita frog voice. At least it ended up paying my bills. Yeah. I was weird, I didn't fit in, but I had a fire. Somewhere along the way, I was a bit of a rebel as a child. One of my teachers said, Mbugua, you just need to go to debate club. Na hiyo sauti yako kubwa. Tumi hapo kwa debate. Debate club changed my life. I entered debate club. And remember, my life journey is about seizing opportunity even when you don't know anybody and nobody knows you. We're not here because somebody knows us. A lot of the leadership you see over here, people have worked hard to get to where they are. I did debate, next thing I did Model United Nations, next thing. 19 years old, Capital FM. How did I get to Capital FM? I called them every day asking for a position, every day. Until one day one of the former bosses, Phil Matthews, was like, Janet, relax. If we get an opening, we'll tell you. And the day came, kept going. Studied, came back, 23 years old. I was looking for a job. I remember my dad telling me something. He said, you will tarmac and find a job. Nobody's going to hand anything to you. What do you have in your hands? Go look for that job. I was never handed anything, ever. And I love that and I'm proud of it. Somehow, the stars aligned, God aligned, I entered K.T.N. I did not know anybody at K.T.N. Nobody. I went there, the receptionist asked me, what do you want? Are you here to see anybody? I said no. They said, do you know anybody? I said no. So they're like, so unafanya nini hapa? I said, I'm looking for work. And I told them this, I don't even mind if I have to serve tea. That's what I said. It doesn't matter if I have to serve tea. I need a job. Number one, my parents have told me they're not supporting me. They've told me to find a job. Number two, I don't mind starting from somewhere. What do you guys have? Do you need somebody to serve tea? Do you need an intern? They told me later they were so shocked that they called the producer and said, Kuna msichana hapa ameongezana. And she has like an interesting voice. Do you think she can go for an audition? I did not know that they were looking for a presenter for a travel show. Had no idea. So a producer called me. He told me come for an audition. What happened during this audition? It was me and two other ladies. We were taken to Uhuru Park. While they were auditioning, I spent time getting to know the crew. The camera, the drivers, I was talking to them. Believe it or not, that also landed me the job. People are always watching what you're doing and how you're interacting with people. I didn't know that they were watching me ask, hey, so he out and about, what happens, where do you guys go, how do you do it? Did that. Did the travel show for 6 months. 6 months later, the money for the production ended. Now I needed to find a job again. Who was starting to knock on my door? Beatrice Marshall and Joroge Maura. I don't know if you guys know them, but these are veteran news anchors. And they were coming to say, come and join us in the newsroom. I was like, there's no way. I'm a child. What am I going to do reading the news? Long story short, again, back to mom and dad, they were like, Sinikazi, you're not coming back here to live under a roof. Nenda kwa kazi. I said, okay, let me try. Did the work, got the job, and ended up changing my life. The thing about this life, and finally, eventually ended up at Citizen TV, where I ended up meeting with people like Makazi. But the one thing that was the consistent throughout was the fire in my belly. The ability to be told, even though we don't normally hire people that look like you, you've proved yourself. It didn't end there. The thing about my life is that I've never been given anything for free. So before I went to Citizen, I was in South Africa for 2 years. I was headhunted. When I came back, it wasn't offered to me on a silver platter. What did I have to do? I still had to audition for Farida Karone, who was my boss at the time. I ended up being paired with Hussein Mohammed, Makofi kwa Hussein. I will pass over your Makofi to him. Join Citizen. Citizen, as Johnson said, they changed our lives completely.